to the Keith Noble Show, brought to you by Auto Chicks, the Nobles Financial Network that you can find on Facebook. Go look them up. Worth your time. So today we're going to talk about majority votes. Now, we see these arguments in the media from politicians on social media all the time about, well, we got a majority of votes, so we should be able to do what we want. And basically, that's the argument there. Kind of a windy day out here after the snow. But we see people argue, well, Hillary got more votes than Trump, and Trump is illegitimate. We get the argument that the Democrats in 2018 got more votes for the Senate than the Republicans did. Hence, what the Republicans do in the Senate is illegitimate. Well, that's nonsense. Okay? That's absolute nonsense. So our founding fathers were wise enough to understand majorities were often greedy and rapacious, and they would take other people's rights and other people's property if they thought it was the advantage of the majority without hesitation. And of course, that's exactly what we see the Democrats promising to do today. Take other people's rights and property. That's their entire campaign. That's their entire platform, is taking other people's stuff and making other people do what they want via force. That's it. That's what they're promising. So the founding fathers, in their wisdom, understanding majorities were often greedy and rapacious, made it very difficult to do that. They made the Constitution such, with representation of the people, representation of the states, that it would be difficult to do. It's not impossible, because it has happened many times in our history, but they made it difficult to do that, for the majority to inflict its will on the minority. And indeed, what we see today, with Republicans controlling the White House and controlling the Senate, is just that. It's minority rights, protecting minority rights. So even though the Democrats get everybody in Los Angeles or everybody in New York State to vote for them, it doesn't really matter, because that's not how it's set up. And to argue it is absurd. Like someone I know recently said, it's like if you win a football game by whoever scores the most points, and you don't score the most points, but you say, well, but I really won because I had the most yards gained, it's irrelevant. That's not the criteria. Yeah, they want to change the criteria midstream because they can't get what they want. Our founding fathers designed a constitution that would protect minority rights. And what we see here is that protecting those minority rights. This is not a flaw, that the people who got fewer votes can prevent bad things happening to them. This is a feature. It's meant to be that way. You're meant to be able to stop bad things happening to the minorities, and that's what we're doing. This is leads us into another topic here, because part of this argument about majority votes, we got more votes, so you're illegitimate, we should be able to do what we do. This is broken, the system's broken. No, the system's working how it was intended. It's keeping you from taking my stuff and my rights. That is how it was intended to work. But part of this argument is a hidden premise. So these people who make this argument never want to start with a premise and build their argument off of a premise for what should be, how it should work. No, they want to hide the premise that they use. They want the premise over here not to be discussed or even referred to. They want to start way over here, not with the premise. Because here's what their premise is. Their premise is that a majority of votes somehow confers moral authority on them to do what they want. Well, you know what? That's bullshit. I'm sorry. That's utter and total bullshit. A majority does not confer on you moral authority to do what you want. And in fact, you have, even if you know virtually nothing about history, you have to know that having a majority in no way leads you to good outcomes or moral authority to do anything. Quite the opposite. It's like Mark Twain was allegedly said, whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it's time to pause and reflect. That's good advice. But these people argue, well, we have the moral authority to do what we want because we're the majority. That goes against everything in the Constitution and everything this country was founded on. Your rights, your property belong to you. They are not up for someone else to take away simply because they have the majority. That's absurd. It's borderline insane. Yet, this is the premise they're working off of, but they don't want to admit that premise. They don't want to confess it. They don't want that premise up for debate because it's so easily destroyed. So, thank you for tuning in today. We'll be back tomorrow. Check out the Nobles Financial Network and Auto Chicks on Facebook. And please subscribe, like, and share around the videos. Subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much.